Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. This is our off-air podcast that we do 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can see it live on the Miguel and Holly Facebook and the Hits 961 Facebook and on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel as well. You can always check out so many videos we have posted on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel. Is a treasure trove. And if one day you're bored, you can go way back into the archives of the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel. Lots of fun stuff on there. Make sure to.
I was about to say maybe don't, but
Yeah, do it. It's there. We did it. So it's history.
There's some with salacious titles too.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of something.
Yeah, so go back and take a peruse through that. Also check out our other podcasts like Miguel and Holly Full Show podcast, Miguel and Holly Blown Off, Queen City Confessions. And as always, make sure to share what you post or what you listen to.
Yeah.
I got to give a quick shout out here because we have a very special guest that we're going to be chatting with here. But before we get to that, someone who we used to work with in Tampa a long time ago, Kristen, she did promotions for us. And I guess she either lives in, nope, she still lives in St. Pete, I believe.
Oh.
But I guess she's flying through Charlotte and the airport, CLT.
Got it.
And she walked into Queen City News and Gifts just this morning. And she tagged us in her story and said, trip number 1 of 2024, CLT to LAX. Walked in this shop and was so pleased to hear the familiar voices of Miguel and Holly.
Oh!
Thanks, Radio Holly and Miguel Fuller, for the reminder that I don't have to be on the grind all the time. It is hibernation season. I will have to grind the next several days, but then rest. Because at the end of the show, I was saying how right now in Charlotte, it is gray and rainy and foggy. Like you couldn't even see the skyline of Charlotte from our building, which you normally can when it's dark.
Yeah.
Because there was so much fog. And it's just this week, I have just felt guilty for not wanting to do anything when I got home from work.
Nope. That's the grind. That's capitalism. Just do what nature intended and hibernate.
Yes.
You also do Peloton though. Not giving yourself enough credit.
I know.
You
Like
work
you're
out.
acting like you just sit on the couch. Like you're over here doing a whole ass workout on the Peloton. Don't.
But I feel like
you're
that
not.
is like that's just keeping my mental health up by like getting on it. Like I
Miguel,
feel like I
Then
should
my
be
mental
like
health is shit.
My mental health is in the trash.
well, no, that's for me. I need to do that for me.
But you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like you don't think I should be doing something for me? And I'm not doing it. So shut up. Shut up. Like you're doing it. You're doing it.
So yeah, I was just talking about that at the end of the show. We were saying, I remember seeing this meme last year of like, I feel like it was taken from the herbal tea box where it's like the little bear with the little nightcap. Yeah, the sleepy time bear. And he was like under the tree, cozied up. And it was like, this is what we should be doing this time of year.
Yep.
It's hibernation season. And all this week I've been like, I want to be that bear.
You're that little bear.
Be the bear.
I've seen you actually sleep like that bear.
Yes. Frequently. Like rest.
Yes.
It's okay.
So,
And then you're perpetuating the stereotype for other people who might want to rest. And then they're like, well, Miguel's always on the grind, so I can't.
true.
Rest.
All right. I'm going to sit my butt down.
Yes. I'm giving you full permission. I don't know who you need it from, but
Thank you.
hopefully I'm good enough and you can take it.
I'll take it. So let's introduce our guest for today's podcast. She's going to become a member of the Platypus Posse. On Instagram and TikTok, her name is Juicy Body Goddess. She has 1.4 million followers on TikTok, 300,000 on Instagram, and was
Incredible.
recently just featured on the Today Show. So you hear Juicy Body Goddess. What exactly does that mean? So before we bring her on, I'm going to play one of the videos from her Instagram just so you can really see if you're watching this, but then also for you listening to the podcast, you can get a sense of what she's all about before we chat with her.
Beautiful Olivia here, and we're going to senior prom. Okay, we're going to senior prom. We are so excited. Let's get her dressed up, looking like a baby doll. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand. I've been there, sister. I love this color on you. But let's try another dress because it is kind of too small on the top. But the color and the style is absolutely stunning on you. I love it. Yeah. Feel. Really pretty. Oh. Oh, Olivia. Oh, Olivia.
Oh my gosh. Show him the skirt. Show him the skirt.
Oh my God, it looks so good on you, baby.
Oh my gosh.
It looks, exactly. Beautiful Olivia here,
Let's
and we're
welcome
going to senior
Summer,
prom.
aka
Okay, we're going to
Juicy Body
senior prom.
Goddess.
We are so
with Miguel and
excited.
Holly
Let's get her dressed
Uncensored.
up, looking like a baby doll.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
Miguel.
Sorry. I had a lot of tabs to click there. Let's try that again. Welcome, Juicy Body Goddess, aka Summer, to Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. So before we dive into anything, so for our platypus posse, that's what we call the people that watch and listen to the podcast, and they're like, all right, I kind of got a sense of what that video was about. Can you walk us through what it is that you do and what that video was?
Because also the people that are just listening to the podcast did not see the video. So they need an audio explanation to go along with what they may have missed.
Yes. So I am Summer Lucille, and I own a plus size boutique called Juicy Body Goddess. And what I tell people I do is I heal the bullied, the little fat girls that were picked on, the LGBT community people that were picked on, the too skinny girl that was picked on. So I heal through fashion. That's pretty much what I do. The video that you've seen is me doing one of my one-on-one prom consultations. And what I do is the girls set up a consultation. That's usually standard. And they come in and we try on different dresses. We find one that's perfect for her. In the plus size community, that's one of the hardest things to find is formal wear. And I'm one of the only on the East Coast that provides plus size formal wear. So a lot of moms come to me to help their babies get dressed for prom.
So what made you start your shop? And it's at North Lake Mall here in the Charlotte area. What inspired you to start this work?
Well, I started off, I've always my mother sewed. My aunties are divas. I've always been into fashion. But the funny thing is just how life kind of takes you on this big roller coaster. I graduated from The Ohio State University with computer science degree, and I ended up here dressing prom girls in fashion. It has been about 12 years I've been in business. A lot of people just heard me in the last 2 years once I became viral on TikTok, but I've been in business for over 12 years. And I love fashion. I love women. I love empowering. And Juicy Body Goddess allowed me to do all of that in one. So this is my passion, and I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to finally find my passion. I've been through so much trying to work on computers, be a developer, do this, do that. And I finally found my place. So that's kind of how I started.
What did take you from computer programming? Like, was there one step or a bunch of little steps that got you from computer programming to having this business?
That's a great question. It was a lot of little steps. 2011 is when I started my business. And it was like when you go through trauma, it's going to make you or break you kind of. And when I lost my mother in March of 2011, and then September of 2011, my corporate bank job let me go. So in 6 months, my whole world was turned upside down. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. Life is so short and so precious. And I said, I'm just going to do what I always wanted to do. So what about the school loans? They'll get paid eventually. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if it doesn't make any money and if it doesn't become successful, that's okay. I'll just go back to programming and doing what I need to do. So that trauma that I went through in 2011 kind of pushed me to do what I always wanted to do, and kind of isolated the noise of people telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that kind of led me into that direction of fashion. That trauma I had in 2011, I kind of flipped it and made it the best for my life.
So you've had this store, it's been running, but then you start going viral on TikTok. I'm so curious as to, because I do see some of the videos. I see a lot of your videos actually. And I see that people fly in from all parts of the country to visit your store. How has social media just changed the game for your business?
You know, I get kind of emotional every time I think about it. Because like I said, I've been in business since 2011. I have sacrificed so much. I sacrificed my credit. I sacrificed my health, working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week from 2011 to 2021. Nobody really knowing who I am, but I knew who I am and I know who I was. And I kept just going, just going. I said, one day it's going to happen. I talked to a good friend who's very successful when I first started. He said, you know, it may not happen in 5 years, it may not happen in 20, but if you work hard and you're consistent, it will happen. So when I first went viral, it was just so amazing how all of this work I've done for the last decade, I'm finally seeing the flowers. It was just a very emotional, so many different feelings. Like, you know, I was exhausted, I was tired. It was right after 2020. So it was just so many emotions that happened, and social media has, I'm forever grateful for TikTok. It changed my life forever. So many people, I've been the same person. I've been the same person. And it was just able to give me that platform for many to see me. And I'm just forever grateful for that.
So when you have a family reach out to you, take us through that process of like what it looks like. In do you take everyone? Are there specific people or cases that you take on? How does that work when people come to Juicy Body Goddess?
One of my flaws is I can't say no, unfortunately. And so last year was so hectic. We had every day we had almost 10 girls a day.
Wow.
You do have to set up a one-on-one consultation, and we really take our time. And we get to know the young lady. We get to know the parents. We go through a series of questions. But if you set up a one-on-one, of course you have to be over a size 10 because I cater to the plus size community. But if you set up a one-on-one, now everybody doesn't get a free dress. Everybody doesn't get that because I do give back to the community, but I take anybody that wants to come and set up a one-on-one. I take everybody. Last year was a lot from January to May. I don't think we took a break. It was
Mm.
every day back to back. And this year I know it's going to be even more, and we're prepared for it. More people in there to help. So I take everybody that needs a dress. And then last year I wasn't as known for prom. And believe it or not, prom was last year was my first year doing prom.
Oh
That's
wow.
that's the really thing that like people, because I'm plus size fashion. I kind of got, I'd say, bullied into doing prom because moms were just like, we need, my baby don't have any formal dress. I had one formal dress in the back that
Mm.
I did a photo shoot in. I said, you can have this dress. And then another mom came in and another mom. I'm like, I don't have to do prom. So that's when I kind of launched it last year. And so I know this year is going to be even bigger. And I just tell them just to book early. And I hate turning people away. And we get girls from all over the world. Australia is the farthest I've heard so far. So we
Wow.
get them from all over the world coming in to be dressed.
There's a
So
requirement though, and it's that first sentence when they walk into the store where you got to
You
be
got to be too
do
something to do
something.
something. That's the rules. I didn't make them. I'm sorry. You got to have some weight on your back.
That's
Your
right.
thighs got to rub together a little bit.
Get it.
I ain't sorry.
love it though. But okay, so if prom was not what you set out to do, although it looked like obviously the videos lend themselves to like a prom makeover and you know, these younger women coming in and feeling this boost. If prom is like sort of the cherry on top of what's been going on, what was that sweet spot for you prior to
Ooh,
prom?
good question. Um, just catering to the plus size community. Uh, Women over 12, size 12 in the United States, take up almost 80% of the population. So 80% of American women wears over a size 12, but only 10% of the retailers carry over a size 12. There
Yeah.
is a gap there that needs to be, and there was a need that needed to be there. So when I came on the scene, of course, there's other plus size brands. They're just not as colorful and loud and just out there and saying it's okay to be fat. Everybody's not meant to be skinny. Everybody's not meant to be fat. It's okay to be who you are and be confident in the skin you are now. And a lot of times, just kind of debunking that diet culture of eating disorders and just being proud in your skin. So people kind of gravitated to that. And I think that kind of pivoted this movement of women being proud of who they are in the skin that they are in. And if you're fat and you don't want to be fat, that's okay too. You can take steps on to eating healthier, losing weight, or whatever you need to do. So just be what you want to be and don't let society push you into that corner. Or you have to be this size or that size. So being vocal about that, I don't think a lot of people have heard that. I don't think society has said that enough. And people hearing that for the first time, that kind of open up their minds like, wait a minute, I don't have to lose 50 pounds to love myself. I don't have to fit in those jeans I wore in high school to feel good about myself or somebody to love me. So I think that's what kind of made it a little different for me coming in a scene because, even though the other plus size stores, they cater to plus size, but they're always trying to encourage you to wear this type of dress or this type of look. I'm just like, wear what you want to wear as long as you're happy and your mental health is healthy. That's the first step because you can have the perfect body and your mind and your mental health isn't right, then nothing is right to me personally.
Summer, can you help someone who may not understand? Like maybe someone has been super skinny their entire life and they're
Mhm.
watching your videos. And they're like, wow, this is emotional. But why are these women like in that video of Olivia? Why is she crying? Like she's just putting on a dress. Like I don't understand. Can you help them understand why is that so emotional for someone like Olivia?
Olivia is a very unique situation because Olivia did not have a one-on-one, and I have a strict policy that you have to have a one-on-one because we're booked, especially prom season. We're booked from 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock, every hour on an hour. And it was really late, and my 8 o'clock canceled. And this young lady, somebody in billiards told her about me. She didn't even know that I existed. She didn't know about Juicy Bodyguard. She didn't know about the viral videos. Her mom came in there defeated. She was defeated. And I'm gonna have a very strict policy. You don't have a one-on-one. It's not fair to the next girl that you come in. And so she came in, she said that she's been to 5 other stores and nobody would help her. Then the lads, not Dilliard's, but another store, I'm not going to name their name, but she said that Olivia broke down in the middle of the store. They wanted to escort her out because she was just so frustrated. She couldn't find anything for her prom. And when I heard that, I'm just like, come on, let's go. Let's find her something. So them tears are her finally being treated like a human, treated like dignity, being able to wear something that she can fit. So all those emotions is coming out. And if you've ever been plus size, if you've ever been an outcast, you know you can connect with Olivia. Or you ever been turned away at a store from not even looking rich enough? You feel that, that pain of being looked at or turned away. So when I told her to come in, she just melted in my hands. And I swear that's why you see those tears. That baby has been turned around 5 times that day, trying just to find a prom dress so she can feel normal. She don't want to feel like a beauty queen. She just wanted to feel like every other normal little teenage girl. So that's where I think a lot of people are connecting with that video.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Whew, that is heavy. I mean, when you think
Mhm.
about that, and that's why I really wanted you to walk through because I feel like there are some people that'll see that and go, well, that's cool. Like, that's a cute dress. But there is something to be said. And I've talked about this on the radio before about, when I've been able to, because I that's why I always say I hate shopping because I know
Mhm.
that there's going to be that disappointment that that
Mhm.
shirt is not going to look on my body like it looks like on the
On
mannequin,
that model. Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be disappointed again. And so when I do find a store where something fits, there is that moment of just like, oh my God, I can
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
feel comfortable in something.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
thank you for walking us through what that feels like.
Yeah,
Do
and
you
that's a great question too. That's a very good question because some people see that video and they may not get because I have to fit that she was in there for 3 hours. I had to fit 3 hours in a minute. So you
Mm,
don't see the whole picture. So I'm glad you help us walk through that so people can
absolutely.
understand.
Right.
It's really hard to find kindness when it comes to weight and clothes because
Mm,
of course the number one comment is always going to be, well then lose weight and then
Mm,
you'll fit into the things you want to.
right.
Mm.
And
Right.
it's like that's not how it works.
that's
Right.
And
not
I've
how it
I've
works.
been in the position where I've lost weight and I still couldn't fit into the one thing that I wanted to.
Mm,
So those crying sessions in the fitting rooms, like it can happen to really
they're
anybody
real.
size.
Yeah,
So you bring
absolutely.
that light, that moment that like I'm not gonna lie to you, Summer. I've been on I'll be on my edible at night and then
Hey,
randomly
baby, live your life.
your video had popped up and I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is so
Look at
feeling
this.
so happy.
Yeah. You're right.
And so me and my ass I just went through all the videos and just enjoyed
Mm.
it so much. And it's funny, I don't ever see myself wearing like a dress like that, but I love them so much that I was like, I want to wear a damn dress. I just want you to dress me. I
Yeah.
just want you to make me
Right. My audience is so different. You would think I have a big diversity of, no, I'm sorry. You would think I have like a big, just plus size following. Do you know how many girls are in my inbox that are skinny and say, I am going through I have an eating disorder. And I'm looking at their picture like you weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. But they're going through, and a lot of people with eating disorders follow me. A lot of skinny people follow me. It's just like it's love, and people love love. They love it, so it's like it makes you feel good. So it's
Yeah.
so funny. My audience is just so different, and it surprises me sometimes. Like you love me. Okay. And I say, I love want somethings too. Come on. You're
Yeah.
welcome. You can come in here and get a hug and a
Yeah.
cupcake. Get your weight up. Come on in.
Well, I think that's what it is. I mean, and I don't know. I'm sure there are thin people who are watching this going, I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around that because it's not really about the clothing, although it is.
Yes,
But
you're
more
right.
it's more about the human connection and
Mhm.
treating each other with dignity and respect. And
Yes.
if you can understand that, that's I guess what I can't wrap my head around. Like,
Mm.
how is anybody watching these videos or even like hearing you speak about it and not getting it unless you are, have some sort of narcissistic disorder where you can't grasp empathy and
Yes.
kindness?
Right. I just like, how can you look at that video and say anything nasty? I had one girl, I've seen a comment this morning. She said, I'm gonna be honest. I had some real negative thoughts when this video started. I screenshot it. So I have very negative thoughts when this video started. But by the end, I was in tears. And I'm like, thank you for your transparency. That is what this is about. That's
Yes.
why I share these videos. Just be kind. Use your words to heal the world. Everybody's going through something. Everybody have mental challenges and have life and life be life and all kind of stuff. Why be mean and miserable? Instagram is pretty tough. Like out of all the platforms, I say their comments, and I work really hard. Like I deleted off 2 days ago. I sat there for hours and deleted like 400 comments off of one video I posted last week. I don't want them babies seeing that. Like, I don't want that poison to hit their eyes. Anything I can do to protect and shield them. So I'll delete a lot of negative. I used to keep them on there so the world can see, but I was like, that's not fair to them. So I delete a lot of the comments, but I don't see how you can see a video like that and not have any kind of compassion and just be
Right.
like, oh my God, whatever your belief system is, like just have a human compassion for
Right.
another person, So that's a great point.
That
Great
was going to
point.
be my question. Like, how do you deal with haters? Do you ever, so you said, you deleted those 400 comments. Do you ever engage and go back and forth
Oh
with
yeah.
people at all?
I
Uh-oh.
drags them.
Good for you. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I whoop them everywhere but loose. You hear me? It's just like sometimes it just depends on my mood that day. Okay. Sometimes I just delete the summer, just delete it. But sometimes I'm like, oh heck no, you're not about to sit here and because these are people that I interact with who gave me permission to post their video. How dare you come on here? Sometimes I will post your picture in your comment and say, this is what your mother raised. This is watch, and if your mother is watching this is what you raised.
Yes.
And my followers are just as crazy as I am.
Right.
So yeah, so it just depends. Majority of the time, I'm really so busy. I don't have time to tangle with people in the comments. I'm gonna be honest with you. But when I do have the time and I have that energy that day, yeah, you gonna get a little piece of my mind.
Baby, it's on, honey. It's
Yeah.
on.
Got the right bitch on the wrong day.
Okay.
You got me on the wrong day. Somebody left a really nasty comment and yesterday on Olivia's post. And what I end up doing is I pinned the comment and I let my followers finish it off because there's
Let them
just
do the work.
I just let them my
That's
little hive, I let them take care.
Yes, you do
The
it.
majority of the time, I just delete it because, like I said, I don't want the girls to see that kind of stuff, and I just it's so many. And to be honest with you, people that push that to a stranger, they're dealing with way more than what we could ever imagine. If you got that much hate toward a stranger, you're dealing with some demons that I don't even want to tangle with. So that's why I'm just like they're so miserable. There's nothing I can say to even deepen them in their misery, you know. So I kind of look at it like that too, in that perspective.
I agree. That's a good way to look at it because it's so demoralizing to see
Right.
really terrible
Mhm.
things written and said because it hits you, but then you're like, wow, where is this person's heart and soul that allowed them to
Right.
spew this garbage? And you just have to be like, I'll push them to the side.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
to,
Don't even like how could you dig that deep? Like for a stranger, I can't hate nobody. You know, it
No.
doesn't yeah, it's terrible with a hater and it's really bad on Instagram.
yeah.
Um, you know, I don't YouTube okay. Facebook is okay. TikTok is okay, but Instagram comments, it's just like and when I posted Olivia's I was going to limit my comments before I
Mm,
even posted, and I was going to put on because I already know how they are. I was going to just have people who follow me be able to comment, and if something came over me, I'm like, no, let it rip, let it do what it do. And so I did not limit the comments, but 98% of the comments are positive. And
mm,
I'm just like, I'm so glad I did that and I trusted my gut. And
Mhm.
it's still a lot of people that good people out there, people
right.
that donate so we can give these dresses free to girls. There's so many good people out there. So I just want to kind of pay attention to those type of people, you
Mm.
know, give my energy and my life to positive people. There's so many beautiful comments on there. And I try not to read them because I'll end up crying or emotional wreck. But yeah, it's beautiful. There's still a lot of
Juice.
nice people out there.
So, Summer, did you ever deal with any of this when you were growing up?
Oh my goodness. Now I'll tell you, I ain't gonna tell you my age, but I grew up in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if y'all know about the 80s, but it was
Mm.
not it was real harsh, okay? I had a
No
There was
filter
no
in the 80s.
positivity
It
back
was
then.
no positivity. Was that even a word?
yes, no. And it was to your face. There wasn't like
Right.
online, which
Right.
hurts, but like it was right
Right.
in your face and
It's
just
in your face. It's no trolls. A troll, you're looking at it, you know? I had a Jerry curl. Okay.
yeah.
And I was chunky and I'm brown skinned. I have full features. So I was bullied a lot, a lot, a lot. But I just made a post the other day while I was saying, like, you know what? I look back, if I wasn't like, and I tell every young person this, like, take whatever you're going through and use that to build you and become a better person. I took that all that bullying that people did, it made me sharp with my comebacks. So these trolls, I'm real sharp.
Drag 'em.
I got teased so much. I had to learn how to protect myself with words. So I kind of had to teach myself that. So I look back and I appreciate that now. I appreciate that because it helped me create this space because I've been through it and I experienced it. So everything happens for a reason. And I could have let that make or mold who I was. That bullying and people telling me who I am or what I do or whatever and become that. Or I can just whatever and believe in myself and move forward. And I tell all young people that. And now my nephew is 7 years old and he's going through this they're bullying him at school. And I'm just like, okay, Summer. And because he's my nephew, I want to go up to the school.
Put your purse on the counter and be like,
I just want to talk to the kid. I don't want
You talk to him.
because I know that feeling. And so I just try to tell him. And then it's just like, that bullying, it does hurt. It does change who a person, because he's so innocent, he's so excited. It does change who you are, but let it change you for the better because you can't avoid it. It's just life, So I try to use that to just to use that past pain of being bullied, not being able to find a dress for prom, all that is why I'm here today. If it wasn't for that, we may not even be on this call now. If it wasn't for me being bullied and not being able to find a dress for prom and so on. So I take all that. I don't regret anything that I've been through.
Summer, before we let you go, you provide so much joy and happiness and comfort to people. Where do you find the joy? Where do you find the comfort for yourself? Because you're giving and you're giving and you're giving and you're giving. What does it look like for Summer to hold a safe space and to have time for herself?
What fills up your cup?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great question. And I've thought about this and never heard anybody say it except Mr. Beast. And when he said it, it hit me like I'm the same way. Like it's kind of selfish, but giving is what fills me up. Like I've always been a giver. My mom was a giver. My great grandmother was like that's just who I am. I'm just a giver. And in my life, like I've gave so much where people would take, and I felt so drained. But seeing them babies happy and being rejoicing, being able to find something that's like that instant satisfaction, like that's what fills me up. And I know it sounds crazy and I know it might sound a little selfish, but giving and seeing them happy is kind of what fills me up. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I think it
Absolutely.
does.
A labor of
yeah,
love.
that's what like me to give them and to see them happy, being able, and it heals that little fat girl in me that couldn't find a dress for prom. It's like healing me in the process. So that's how, and I sleep. I love me to sleep. You hear me? Last night I said, man, here I come. But yeah, just resting myself and making sure these girls are good. And I really love what I do. Like I love this. I love being here. And when you love your job, they say you really don't feel like you're working. And I think that's a part of it too. I really love doing this. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what God put me on this earth to do. And I'm so grateful because some people live a whole life and never find their purpose. So I'm so grateful I was able to find my purpose.
You ended up becoming the person that you needed for your younger
Yes.
self.
I love that. Yes. Yes. Because people put in the comments, oh, I wish I had you in high school. And I'm like, I wish I had me in high school. You're like, I wish I had you in high school too. So we're both in the same boat. Yes, that's a very good point. I say that a lot. Like I became the person I needed. And once you do that and you've been through it. So people know, what to say to these young girls. You know how to present it. You know what vulnerable spaces and what vulnerabilities they have. So it's just, it all worked out for the best. And I just appreciate this life God has given me.
1.4 million followers on TikTok, 300,000 people on Instagram. You're affecting those people plus more.
Thank
Plus
you
more.
so much.
So thank you for gracing us and letting us bask in your sunshine today.
Yeah.
Aw.
Thank you so much, Summer. How can people find you on social media, and how can people visit your store and try to wedge themselves into your busy schedule?
Yeah, no. I'm at the store probably like once a week. So we're usually on Saturdays. But my store is located in North Lake Mall. I have my brick and mortar. But I have a really big online warehouse where I ship out all over the world. JuicyBodyGoddess.com. I'm on everything. Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, everything. So it's Juicy Body Goddess across the board, except for Instagram. It's Juicy Body Goddess 2.0, because this is another thing. Last year, I lost my whole account with 99,000 followers. A hacker. I wasn't two-way authenticated. And I cried. When I tell you I cried, because I built that platform since 2012, right?
Yep.
And I had 99,000 followers. I was devastated. And 1 year I was able, 1 year and some months, I was able to get almost up to 300,000 followers. So that's what I tell people, like, don't sweat the small stuff. Like, everything that's meant to be will fall in place. And then if I could just talk to myself last year, like, I cried for almost 2 weeks.
I know.
So yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. Everything will work out. Just keep moving forward, keeping your mental state healthy. So, but yeah, Juicy Body Goddess across the board is where you can reach me.
Summer, thank you so very much for joining us on the
Thank you.
podcast. You are now a part of the
Thank
Platypus
you.
Posse, what we call our fam here that listens and watches the podcast. So welcome to the fam.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I enjoyed y'all. Y'all had so many good questions. Thank you. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you. Hold on for 1 second.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.